The WBO has resolved to award junior welterweight world champion Terence Crawford the designation of WBO Super Champion. This honor is awarded to WBO champions who have attained preeminent status to acknowledge their accomplishment and to provide scheduling flexibility with respect to mandatories. Proclamation to designate Terence Crawford as World Boxing Organization Super Champion. Let all take notice that the Executive Board of the World Boxing Organization, pursuant to the recommendation of the WBO World Championship Committee, resolves as follows. Whereas, the Constitution of the World Boxing Organization provides that it is the objective of the World Boxing Organization to promote the development of professional boxing throughout the world, and whereas the objectives, purposes and duties of the World Boxing Organization include the promulgation and administration of its World Championship regulations, and whereas, pursuant to the Constitution, the World Championship Committee has been established and the World Championship regulations have been promulgated, and whereas the World Boxing Organization regulations of World Championship contests provide that the regulations are intended to reconcile the interest of all necessary elements of World Championship boxing in a manner that is in the best interests of the sport, and whereas the World Boxing Organization recognizes that the World Championship has been established as the highest objective in professional boxing as a trust for the use and benefit of all boxers and boxing fans, who through the contribution of the time, effort, risks and resources sustain the existence of the profession, and accordingly the World Boxing Organization encourages each world champion to be an example of the highest ideals and spirit of sportsmanship. Whereas, the World Championship regulations recognize that it is the policy of the World Boxing Organization to encourage its championships to pursue recognized status as undisputed world champions and to unify the championships of the four major world sanctioning organizations, the WBO, the WBA, the WBC and the IBF, and the WBO recognizes that a world champion who has achieved preeminent status may require and be entitled to additional scheduling flexibility to achieve his place in boxing history and for the good of the sport, and whereas the World Championship regulations provide that a world champion with an exemplary amateur record, who has defended his title against opponents of high recognition and high skill, and who has unified the championship of more than one of the four major sanctioning bodies, shall be considered for super champion status, and whereas Terence Crawford had an exemplary amateur career with victories over future world champions Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia and Diego Magdaleno. Terence Crawford won gold medals at 3 national amateur tournaments, Indiana 2067, and whereas Terence Crawford has professional victories over 2 Olympic gold medalists, Yuri August Gamboa and Felix Diaz, and whereas in 2013 Terence Crawford was named Sports Illustrated's Prospect of the Year, and in 2014 Terence Crawford was voted as Fighter of the Year by both ESPN and the Boxing Writers Association of America, and whereas Terence Crawford has compiled an exemplary professional record of 31.0 record, including victories over 4 world champions, Ricky Burns, Yuri August Gamboa, Victor Postal and John Molina Jr., and whereas Terence Crawford has unified the championships of the WBO and the WBC, and whereas Terence Crawford has conducted his campaign with exemplary boxing skill, character and sportsmanship. Terence Crawford has been the recipient of the WBO Gordon Volkman Award for exemplary community service. He has served actively for the B.B. Budd and Bryant Boxing Academy as a haven for troubled youths in his home city Omaha, and he also promotes several anti-bullying initiatives. Additionally, he has embarked on charitable missions to Rwanda and Uganda, where he has helped build houses for victims of genocide, and whereas the World Championship Committee has recommended to the Executive Board of the World Boxing Organization that Terence Crawford be designated as a World Boxing Organization Super Champion, and now therefore, it is unanimously resolved by the Executive Board of the World Boxing Organization that Terence Crawford is hereby designated as a World Boxing Organization Super Champion pursuant to Article 14 of the World Boxing Organization's regulations of World Championship contests, with all of the privileges and responsibilities attendant to that status. Dated this 18th day of August, 2017. World Boxing Organization by Francisco Valcárcel, WBO President, and by Luis Batista Salas, Chairman of the WBO World Championship Committee.